I know what you're asking. Why am I sitting in the driver's seat of Lexus' third or fourth best-selling SUV? Because Lexus's third or fourth best-selling SUV, which is called the Lexus GX460, is phenomenal off-road. You didn't know that, did you? Some of you might. Some of you are nodding your head, immediately going, yeah, I know what this guy's on about. I know what he's going to get into here. That's because underneath the skin of the Lexus GX is a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. It's a vehicle we do not get in the United States, but the rest of the world enjoys as a proper off-roading Toyota. In fact, it's used by the UN, it's used by military forces all over the globe. This is a properly built machine that can get you into and out of hard to reach places. And it's a Toyota, so it will last forever. That is the genius of a Toyota vehicle. It's part of the charm, reliability. In those areas of the world where you need to do things that bring you into harm's way or take you way off the beaten path, a Land Rover is a nice choice, but it's mechanically complex and expensive. This, though it wears Lexus badges under the skin, is not that. It has some upgraded options and features, but at its core, this is a surprisingly wonderful off-road machine. It's a dated one. It's very old. Like the Land Cruiser, Toyota and Lexus are sitting on this going, nah, it's good for now. It's good for now. People who know what it is will buy it and appreciate that. This has a properly boxed ladder frame. It has an old school V8 under the hood that when you're underway, you can hear the fan going, we need to keep moving, like old school V8s. Modern V8s don't have that big, as soon as you come to a stop, the fan goes, oh, gotta keep things cool. It does it in this, and that's how you know it's old school. But inside, this is properly a Lexus. The seats are comfortable. The sound system, the Mark Levinson sound system, is excellent. But again, it's very dated and it's easy to see. This whole center stack works fine, but it's old. The nav screen looks old. The menu screens look old. Lexus has updated this along the way with a unique suspension system where it stabilizes it hydraulically from left to right, which is pretty good because on these old, chunky, boxy SUVs, you get a lot of movement because if you want to have any wheel travel, you're going to have movement under normal driving. With the hydraulically stabilized stabilizers, what it does is it sends hydraulic fluid from one side to the other as deemed necessary to kind of flatten it out. Now, forward and aft, you're still going to get some brake dive. You expect it, though, in a vehicle like this. And you can dial in just how much of that hydraulic fluid is doing its thing because there's a toggle switch over here that goes sport, normal, and comfort. I have it in sport right now. I'm going to move it to comfort just to see what it does. And it's kind of cool that it has toggle switches down there. Toggle switches are pretty much always cool. Now up front, I mentioned this has a V8. Originally, the GX was a 470 when it first launched. This is the second generation, though you'd be hard pressed to find too many differences between the two. They're all pretty much mechanical. What used to be, I believe, a 2UZ is now the 4.6 liter V8 and it's making 301 horsepower. It should make more than that. It makes just under 300 pound-feet of torque, and it's very smooth on its torque delivery, but occasionally that lends itself to feeling slow. You press the pedal, and it goes. It starts moving. It starts getting out of its own way. Awesome. The place I wanted to take this is closed. That is fantastic. Oh, California and your fires, you're killing me. That is the second road I tried to go to today to take this thing off-road. And I'm just going to have to redo this section right here to show you that this can go off-road, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so you know what? Because I'm annoyed as hell, we're just going to take it through this rutted section so you can see that, yes, there's skid plates down there and you can just drive this thing. We're just gonna have to do this over and over to beat it into your head that the Lexus GX460 is proper off-road. I wanted to get this thing filthy because you never see these things filthy. It's so fun to take an expensive luxury SUV and get it positively dirty. Let's see what happens if I hold traction control down. Okay, traction all the way off. This has a full-time four-wheel drive system. In normal driving, it is sending 60% of the power to the back. Through corners, it torque vectors a little bit. It sends up to 70 back. You can lock the center differential and have it go full 50-50. What I don't know is if you can do any kind of donutty mischievousness, but since I'm really annoyed that my off-road thing is, let's just try to get it somewhat dirty. I mean, this isn't the proper way to do it, but you know, who else is doing this to their Lexus? No one is the answer. Drive down into these ruts. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. So it has an optional air suspension in the back. It can keep, make sure the mic's still there. It can keep things calm on road. Let's put traction back on. It has all the features you would expect of a proper off-road machine. And that's a bonus. Now, it's not cheap. This one, as tested, is $73,000. This is the GX460 Luxury, so it's pretty much as expensive as you can make one of these. This is in the same vein as the Land Cruiser or the Toyota LX, which is a Land Cruiser in a slightly fancier suit. This is a machine for those who want to go deep into the woods, yet have a supremely luxurious vehicle in their 9-to-5 Monday through Friday grind. This is that. The sound system, like I said, is excellent. These seats are great. You can get this with the optional second row captain's chairs, which are awesome. There is a third row, and it's nice to pair it with the captain's chairs because if someone has to sit back there, they can kick their legs in between the captain's chair. But it's almost better to think of this car as having a bonus third row, but keep them flat and you actually have proper cargo space. With those third row seats up, your cargo space goes away pretty quickly. The neat thing is those are power operated because, again, this is still a Lexus. Power operated third row. They fold down, they fold nice and flat. On-road manners are what you might expect of a vehicle that is geared towards more off-road adventures. Like I said, there's roll and dive, though the side-to-side roll is mitigated, thankfully, with that hydraulically stabilized system. Under braking, yeah, you're going to pitch forward. And you're not going to just get away from the crowd around you. The only way to get power out of that engine is to floor it. You have to mat it, put your foot all the way down to the floor, and then it wakes up. It actually has a decent little tune to it, and it gets going. I think Car and Driver tested one of these 0 to 60 and said it'll do that run in 7 seconds, which is not great. I think the new Escalade, the current Escalade, can make that dash, and that's a much bigger vehicle in 5 flat, which is crazy. I mean, that's what an extra 100 and 125 horsepower will do. This GX needs a massive update. They need to make a GX550 with Lexus's newer engine, or use the V6 twin turbo now that's offered. There's so many fun engines that Lexus could use to make proper use of a new generation of the Lexus GX. However, this is still such a capable machine. That's why I wanted to bring it to your attention. There's probably so many of you that never would have thought of this. Now, granted, this is geared towards those of us who have a bit more money or a better job. I can't afford a $73,000 thing that I want to go thrash. But for those of you who can, this is a great option. It's not, I was about to say something silly. I was about to say it's like a luxury Ford Raptor. I had to stop myself before I finished that thought. However, this is only a little bit more than a Raptor. There's more room inside. You can't go rip through the desert in this thing, but you wouldn't be surprised to see a whole lot of these running over dunes in the Middle East. Imagine swapping out, I think it has Bridgestone dualers on there. Imagine putting KO2s at each corner. Now we're getting into something that can get the job done and in a proper way. As it comes equipped from the factory, it is a very capable SUV. With some very, very light modification, it turns into a true go-anywhere mobile. And that is a wonderful thing. A wonderfully expensive thing. But again, you'd be hard-pressed to find a capable off-roader that is as comfortable as this. Yes, your Toyota 4Runner can go a lot of places. It's not as nice inside as this. Yes, your Land Rover can go just as many places as this thing can. But if something breaks, I can get this fixed at my local Walmart. You need to go find your local British car repair place where all of the bays are filled because they have plenty of customers ahead of you. With the Toyota, you just need duct tape and zip ties and you're back on the road. There's a reason why these are used the world over to do amazing things. You strip away some of the Lexus stuff and you can see, swap Toyota badges on, get rid of that spindle grille up front because, let's be honest, it's not great. It only works on like 2 Lexus vehicles. The new LS, it looks decent on, and then the Lexus LC, it works on. It's those 2. That's it. It's not too bad on the RC, though it's pushing it. On the SUVs, it's just magnified. It's just like, and I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I don't think most people are feeling it. Not that it's hurting Lexus sales. Though I said this is Lexus's third or fourth best-selling SUV, they still managed to crank out about 30,000 of these a year, which isn't bad considering what this is. Most people want the RX, which is a crossover-based. It's a crossover. So, car chassis underneath. People don't care to take these and get them dirty. But those who know, just like in the Land Cruiser video I said, those who know what they're getting into, this is a proper machine to take and get dirty and then hose it off, take your kids to school, take your wife to dinner, take clients out for whatever meetings you need to do, and they will be comfortable. They will remark at the spaciousness of it, the smoothness of the V8, because like I said, you need to mat it to get it to do anything. Once you do, it wakes up a little bit. Don't expect to, be blowing the doors off other more modern SUVs. It is due. It is overdue for an update. But as it sits, it is still incredibly capable. Do not sleep on the Lexus GX460.